Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Summit powered by Twitch. It's time now to head over to the Asia region. We're getting started bright and early. Only 12 p.m. there, God. So the players getting awake and ready for some WPC action later tonight. But first, they've got Summit Dota to play.
Yeah, we're casting at the same time for once. This is crazy. Well, I guess we did yesterday as well, but...
Yeah, it's been like a handful of games.
I moved to LA, and one of the downsides was, okay, we're going to be casting a lot from midnight till like 10 in the morning, because that's when Asian Dota gets played, that's when European Dota gets played, but
yeah,
the last couple of days, it's been like, we start at 10 a.m., go through till like 11 p.m. It's
been North American Dota.
North America and these early China games, so.
Like normal Chinese Dota / Southeast Asian Dota will start at like 4 a.m. and go until 4 p.m., so. Yeah. That's a rough schedule, but we love the games anyway. So coming up now, we've got Hyper Glory Team versus LGD. Hearts get together in my heart, and we could take a quick look at our brackets here if they're ready. And I'm looking at K-pop here. He's on the ball. So
straight to the relevant one too. We're in the loser bracket.
Yeah, we are in the losers bracket, and a loss here will knock either team out. Best of 3 format, just from name recognition alone, I would expect most people to even just be favoring LGD. I wonder how many teams have been doing their research? Not enough. People giving LGD that 55-45 edge? I'm not so sure. I think this is very close to 50-50.
Yeah, I think it's 50-50. The X factor is the fact that CTY is back. He's playing for Hyper Glory Team. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I think Kaka was one of their kind of, like, as far as mid players goes, he was pretty underwhelming. And normally you look at mid players and say even like a average mid player can have high impact games. And I never really saw that from Kaka. He played a few good games on puck here and there, but he was never that like snowbally or even like tempo controller type mid that you need to have on a team.
Yeah, he did not enter beast mode, that's for sure. Well, game one's underway, guys. It's a best of 3. We'll hop into the draft now. HGT versus LGD China. Here we go.
All right.
Of course, loser will go home. Winner moves on to play the other side of the losers bracket winner. So either IG or now it's escaping me who IG's playing in their next
Vici
match.
Gaming.
Vici Gaming. Yeah. That is a stacked lower bracket match to have this early in the tournament.
It's all IG's fault. They lost. IG lost to Dreamtime. That's where it all started. As
yeah. Invoker first pick for LGD.
Invoker. Yeah, not really a team known for their Invoker play.
Yao's a good Invoker.
Yeah, Yao's played it a few times, so. But
he
not
was
really
more when he used to play Invoker a lot. He was more known for his Quasflex Invoker. This was in like the TI2 post TI2 era, before Invoker got the big nerf bat. But hasn't played too much Invoker. Like you said, not really known for it in the 6.80 era, to put it mildly. Well, that does leave a. Let's see who's available. Lycan, Ember, Centaur Band. That leaves the Sand King in the pool. It also leaves. There's someone I'm missing here. Who's the other top? Naga, who I guess isn't as good lately.
Right. Naga, especially in the Eastern scene, none of the teams really play farming Naga.
I still think support Naga is pretty legit, though. Yeah. None of the nerfs really affect her ability to support.
I think this is most of the big bans as far as this patch go. Like I always think it's like the staple 4 bans is Ember, Lycan, Batrider, Invoker, and then there's no Invoker ban, but the Centaur instead.
Yeah, I think Centaur is just as scary as Invoker. To me, still top 2, top 3 offlaners.
Yep. So HGT goes straight into picking up their 2 supports. Don't reveal too much about what they want to do. It's a support combo that can play greedy, they can play aggressive.
Great late game, good at counter pushing, good initiation. This is a very well-rounded opening from HGT.
Yep.
It does mean that LGD can look to ban out just some core heroes and farmers, knowing that HGT already have their supports, but they're good supports. They're versatile. Sand King can go woods, Ancient Apparition can pull, so they've got a lot of options.
Yeah, all right. I'm looking forward to seeing what CTY is going to be playing later on, if he's going to be back on his old tricks of these super like snowbally mid heroes, which really rely on having those big early starts. TA, one of his more well-known heroes.
Shadow Fiend, something that we saw out of him.
Yeah.
Is there any chance of a role swap? Is there any chance we don't see him go mid? There was a period for Vici where he was playing the carry role for the team.
I think not a chance. Like ZSMD's been on the carry for a while now, been doing well. XCT's been really good on the offlane. Like he's got one of the best centaurs at the moment. And they replaced the mid player. So I think it's almost definitely CTY mid.
Okay.
Unless maybe him and XCT, depending on the hero, will swap around a bit. But I think you don't want to, like, you're already changing a player. You don't want to change roles and mess up with the team synergy too much more.
At least see how it goes first before you resort to that. Axe will get the ban here from LGD China.
HGT played a couple games. XCT's got one. I talk about his center. His Axe is probably up there as one of his second best hero.
I still think Axe is underpicked in this patch. We've seen a lot more Axe than we used to, but honestly, he's gotten buff after buff after buff. I almost think he's like I don't think he's a first stage pick unless you have a game plan for it, but definitely second
Yeah.
stage. I would say more games than not.
Yeah.
One of the higher win rates this patch, according to K-pop. And he's pretty versatile. He can go woods. He's a little more reliable in the jungle now with the pseudo-random distribution on the spin, and he can be played as an offlaner or even a tri-lane farmer. So I think that's a pick that doesn't reveal too much about anything either, and still offers you a lot. Good lockdown, good initiator. So I'm big on Axe, but he is banned here.
LGD with a Nyx. This is pretty flexible. Offlane can support. LG, one of the teams who play him as support more than other teams as well. So we'll see what it's going to be. And here we go, some a CTY ban here, taking out the Templar Assassin. And one of the heroes that matched up really well against Invoker. Like Cloud9 type teams love to pick TA as a response to Invoker.
OD also crushes Invoker, though haven't seen CTY run that historically too often.
Could be a nice little pick. Yeah, I think OD's also somewhat become a bit underpicked. Every now and then I see it get picked and just
EG will run it a lot, but they're the main
Yeah.
team. I think I see Navi run it a handful of times, but more situational.
As for ZSMJ, he's become really flexible with his carry choices. I actually like the fact that he's been playing more aggressive, like lifestealer type carries, and they'll also play the greedy farming morphling. So
we looked at his. I was just doing a little research before the match and looked at the last 6 games. There was a morphling, Weaver, Lifestealer, Anti-Mage, which he lost.
the Anti-Mage game was that was a bad idea.
They keep on buffing the Mono Void AoE, but that hero just takes a long time to come online. I think good situationally in certain matchups like Darkseer 1v1, but
Or the Quaswex Invoker in your team. That's what it's all about.
Team Monoburn. Shut down that Skeleton King. He's good versus Wraith King as well. I really like Anti-Mage versus Wraith King. But
You still need a draft. Like, you can't just be like, oh, let's pick Anti-Mage to go Wraith King. If you're against the draft,
well, Wraith King is a hero with a stun and a good initiating
Yeah.
ult in
you stun the AM when he blinks. You still can't blink into a Wraith King to attack him if they have crowd control and damage to kill you.
And he can be run as a support. You can't draft someone just to counter an enemy support hero. Unless it's a Chen and they're running a push strat or
They
something.
gotta support Wraith King. We've got to counter this motherfucker. Let's go.
Get him, boys. Lifestealer's the choice. So this would suggest maybe even something like a Puck for CTY.
Yeah.
When he first started playing for Vici mid, his Clockwork was ridiculous.
That's
I remember
the
there was
one,
one game where he just crushed on Clockwork. So I don't think it's the best matchup versus Invoker, but
it's not a good mid Clockwork meta at the moment necessarily.
yeah. But I think the Puck, the Clockwork, he can play those tempo controller initiators for sure.
So Clockwork could still fit as your offlaner, but we'll see. But XCT I think has a couple games on the Clockwork. And there's kind of running out of offlane options with Bat taken out, Centaur and Nyx got picked up, Axe has been banned out, so not that many viable offlaners left. HGT do have the option to go offensive tri-lane if they feel LGD get too weak of a tri-lane.
It's double melee for them. LGD maybe only one of their tri-lane heroes picked up. Probably it's a Nyx offlane even.
It's more of LGD pick like a Spectre now, because Spectre is like having 2 melee heroes in offensive tri-lane's okay if you're against like a melee farmer like a Spectre, I think.
The other thing HGT can do is run Lifestealer safe lane solo if they anticipate a Nyx offlane, and then they can go aggressive with the other two.
Get like the
and
Mirana.
that would be really tough for LGD. They would lose their offlane for sure. And yeah, you get like a Mirana here, maybe. Well, I was gonna say Weaver, but he's actually banned. Some sort of ranged carry to go with Ancient Apparition and just go to work.
Mirana's being way too over-ignored by a lot of teams. Like I think it fits. How
about that
so
farmy Windrunner? She's pretty legit.
You need the Titan to pull that one out again.
Yes.
That's a SEA strat right there.
She's good with Chilling Touch though. She has a fantastic attack animation, 600 range, but Mirana is the safer and more popular choice.
So I think likely the offensive trial you talked about.
K-pop's whispering to us.
Mirana broken. Yeah.
67%.
Yeah, I think Mirana.
What was her win rate in the last patch?
So 60.
So she's gone up 7% this patch.
Yeah. Mirana didn't get like huge. Mirana got like small nerf, but nothing like a noticeable nerf, I believe, in 6.81.
I would alt tab to look at the patch notes.
Okay, Arrow Vision's been. That's a pretty decent nerf. I feel. I mean, it's a very minor nerf, but the fact Mirana's win rate's gone up, I think. It speaks more to like the other top tier heroes.
Her,
yeah. You're no longer like if you go for an early Mirana pick, it's not like you're giving up like the Bat Rider, the Ember Spirit now, and if you are, it's like well those heroes aren't as big a deal to deal with.
So LGD, they've gone for Bane Invoker, good setup for Sunstrikes here. Nature's Prophet in the pool, and they could look to go defensive Charlie Nyx Bane +1, Invoker safe, Prophet off, who is one of the better matchups versus Lifestealer, especially if you get the early phase boots. So that might be an option for them. Then you've got Nyx, Prophet, Invoker in the mid game, which is just insane gank potential. Yao plays quite a bit of offlane Prophet, but generally he is the Invoker player. So I'm curious to see how they lay.
They can't get too greedy with their carry hero here. I think Morphling's okay, but they can't go like Spectre, Anti-Mage type carries for Rabbit. Rabbit's known for like his Weaver, his Lifestealer.
Weaver would have been ideal versus Lifestealer, but
Yeah,
it is,
Weaver would have been fantastic.
banned. Murano would have been good too. Those are probably the two best hero, just like versatile carry picks versus a Lifestealer.
Yeah. So LGD every now and then run 1 or 2 games with the safe lane farming Invoker, but I don't think you want to be doing that here.
Not against these heroes. HGT has very high kill potential.
There's still no guarantees HGT will go for the offensive trial lane.
No.
Chinese teams in general like always stray away from it. I think that's something which like Team Dog have been doing almost every single game, and more teams need to do. But
well, LGD secure the tri lane there.
They love their Visage LGD.
And now they know it's an off-lane Nyx.
So
maybe a mid Nyx, but almost certainly off-lane Nyx.
Yeah, that's the problem with not picking your carry fourth. You're picking another support. Now HGT know what LG are doing with the lane, so they can decide here before they pick their mid hero if they're going offensive tri lane with the lifesteal 1v1 against Nyx, or if they're just going to go safe lane tri lane. And I don't know. What do you think, LD? Do they want an offensive tri lane now or not?
Yeah, I think you know Nyx is off lane. You know Lifestealer crushes him 1v1. The other, I mean, unless they want to run unless LGD goes for an aggressive tri lane of their own, and then what? Run a Nyx safe.
I think no way LGD do offensive tri lane.
Murano beats Nyx 1v1 as well. So I think you pretty much know LGD's lanes, and you can start aggressive, and if you want, you can smoke gank Ancient Apparition Sand King. Pretty strong smoke ganking combo with boots. So I think HGT should at least go into the enemy jungle level 1, try and ward up the camps. Visage needs a lot of levels, Bay needs a lot of levels, and these heroes rely on pulls. They do not clear stacks quickly, so I would like to see HGT at least take control of the enemy jungle. Whether or not they stick to an aggressive tri lane, I'm not sure.
The one other thing is they could theoretically just be running Murano mid. Like we're talking about this like Lifesteal Murano going sidelines. Murano could go mid if they wanted to pick up like your XTT Clockwork type hero.
That's true.
I think it's more depends what HGT want out of this because they haven't got initiator. So if they're not gonna, they can't get Puck now. So they may decide, hey, we need a long range initiator with Puck taken out. Let's get something like a Clockwork. But
yeah, I don't know what other options there are to
Storm
go
is
mid.
probably the next best thing.
There's a lot. Cold Snap.
They go Dark, XTT Dark. This is gonna be a solo mid Murano. It looks like.
Yeah, now it does look like it. Puck would have been the ideal pick there. Puck Lifestealer, very strong, good silence for dealing with Nyx, prevent him from carapacing, and burst down the Invoker as well.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to see CTY play. Not just, I mean, we talked him up a lot, but he's been away from Dota. He was playing, attempting to play League of Legends professionally, I believe, is what happened to him.
And he said, I think what he said was that he found League very boring. Oh man, shout to Anti-Mage.
Do you see this and go offensive tri lane now?
They want to get this Anti-Mage Darkseer matchup. That's the ideal thing for LGD.
This is tricky.
They're anticipating just an offlane solo Darkseer. Can they just run like Darkseer mid and still go aggressive and try and shut down the AM?
They could, but like Darkseer's gonna do okay against Invoker.
It's not as good on the Dire either.
This is where if like Zhao 8's the captain, I would say they're gonna switch. Zhao 8 loves to switch up the lanes just to make sure they have a laning advantage. But I don't know what.
Oh, he's saving for a bottle. I think they are going aggressive.
The Darkseer saving bottle.
Yeah.
Nice. I like this. This is like what some of the Chinese captains would do. They just quickly change up their lanes when they see that greedy carry pick. They see the Anti-Mage Spectre. They say, look, we've got a perfectly reasonable tri lane to punish this.
And that will leave Murano 1v1 against an offlane Nyx, which is a fine matchup for Murano. So,
well, I think Murano's in the tri lane even, maybe. Depending what they would.
Or the Lifesteal. Probably the Lifesteal. But either matchup, they're going to win.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, we'll introduce our teams. Might have a level 1 class. ZSMJ on the Lifestealer. Pretty Hall handling the Sand King. They burrow strike in straight onto Rabbit. No real follow for this unless the arrow connects. Ooh! Barely off the mark. Now open wounds thrown on Rabbit. They'll have to disengage. XTT, your Darkseer. Pretty Hall the Sand King. And that does leave CTY, the new addition. But an old face for Vici Gaming followers back in the good old days last year of the TI3 qualifiers will be on the Murano.
All right. Not bad. I think he could have thrown the arrow sooner, so CTY already losing a point in my books. But
yeah.
we'll forget that. Oh, we've got in-game stats back. We can celebrate.
K-pop has something to do instead of falling asleep during games.
We're just going to have a reason to stay awake. We'll introduce our LGD side. We've got, in the loser bracket, fighting for survival in the Summit Asia. We've got DD playing the support main, DDC on the support Visage, Rabbit playing the Anti-Mage. Another clash in the river. They're going to fight over a non-existent room, which spawns top. And then in the mid lane, we will see solo mid Nyx from Yao.
Oh, they know what's coming their way. They do not want this Nyx versus Lifestealer matchup, but he started boots first. This is so bad for the 1v1.
Lin's playing the offlane Invoker, so no, I agree. Not the best for the 1v1.
Brian, we're trapped in the draft screen here, by the way.
He's he's out of sync now. He's got his stats back, but he forgets his other toys.
K-pop is drunk. Sorry, fellas. Feel free to tweet at K-pop-tosis. Let him know what a horrible newbie is.
Fire K-pop. But while you're spamming to fire K-pop, do follow him on Twitter as well.
Yes.
He occasionally tweets stuff that's clever. All right, so
that's what we have me for, to catch you when you fall, Brian. You've been falling a lot lately, though. So I like this tri-lane overall for HGT.
Yeah. Against Anti-Mage, they have the stronger tri-lane. The pull has been blocked, so this is going to give LGD problems because they can't use the pull to deny XP and to pull the wave back to their tower where Anti-Mage
They do have another sentry,
safer.
and they might deward it. They've already plopped down the sentry ward. DDC is going to take the long route around.
HGT want to come and contest this. They need to try and do so.
But they don't know. They didn't see the sentry get dropped, and DDC hasn't gone all the way around the trees. He hasn't found it yet.
Pretty Hard does have boots, so if he starts dewarding it, they'll see him and he can go boots in, try to get a stun into an arrow, so it's very risky to try and deward that.
This mid lane with the boots first start for Yao he's actually doing pretty well. 460 gold. That is not expected. Up against Darkseer, who rushed a bottle, but...
Darkseer's actually Darkseer's huge base damage. 70 base damage to the 53 of Nyx.
And you have to last it under tower as well. And he started with boots, so he's very low.
I think the lasting under tower almost helps him a bit, because if you're lasting in the middle of the wave, that's where Darkseer gets every last hit with the better base damage, but you can use the tower somewhat to your advantage.
So the top lane is an Invoker versus Lifestealer. Quite a good matchup for Invoker. Not the best at zoning out the Lifestealer, but not like Lifestealer can generally dive him too effectively.
Yep.
So this adjustment working out better than I would have expected for LGD. Great individual play mid from the Nyx, all things considered. Sitting at 10 and 2 is very impressive in a melee versus Darkseer.
He's got his bottle up, which is the important thing here. So
still, it will be free farm for the Darkseer. He can also, you can push the wave, then go farm the Radiant mid camp here. And just get a little bit extra experience while you're at it.
No mud golems, please, and for now he's good. So Sentry deward. Okay, so Pretty Horse saw the Sentry and dewarded the enemy Sentry. So this pull is permanently.
They found DD. Will there be an arrow? It comes in from CTY, but barely off the mark.
He has to fire the arrow like as the stun is cast, not after the stun.
This could be first blood the other direction. They get it, LGD. HGT giving up a very unnecessary kill there. Just overextending and getting punished.
It's a tricky one. CTY is so far away that you have to almost preemptively throw the arrow or throw it as the stun is cast. You can't.
Yeah, you can't wait.
You can't see the stun and then be okay. He stunned him. Now let's throw the arrow. That doesn't work.
That works if you have two supports there and you burrow strike and then follow up with another stun. But
so I think it's I don't think it's part CTY, part Sanking. They're just not really working in tandem that well together.
Yeah,
he's a new addition.
Prepared to turn the fight around though.
And giving up first blood against a Trallon that's meant to be much weaker, that's problematic. Visage gets the kill, so that's Boots and Magic Stick. Magic Stick early on Visage is actually really nice because that gives you that one extra soul assumption when normally your base mana pool is completely ass.
Also, there was the there's just the nerf to Grave Chill, I guess, which we didn't really mention.
Yeah.
In this particular cast, we've talked about it before, but I was still surprised to see that in the latest patch.
I'm not a fan of that nerf, but. That's mostly because I didn't think Visage needed a nerf. I think Grave Chill should have more clear scaling where it's not like level 1's as good as level 4 almost. Like the duration only matters late game really.
Speaking of heroes that need more clear scaling, how about Anti-Mage?
Mana
Break and Spell Shield in particular.
Yeah.
And Faceless Void, I guess, a slightly lesser example, but some heroes just have like way too many value points, I feel.
And he hasn't actually gone the Spell Shield. He's got stats for now, but he'll get that one value Spell Shield point soon enough. Probably like level 4, maybe level 5.
Yeah, even against Chilling Touch, that is magic damage, so it's still worth a single point.
Well, we're going to spawn bottom. Pretty Hard going to protect that one for the Darkseer, who surges himself down there. We'll grab it as well as his brown boots. Actually, Pretty Hard takes it. Oh, I like this. He uses the invis, passes the bottle back, and does get spotted by the Observer Ward, though, so they know it's coming, but...
Do they have a sent? No, they already used their 2 sentries.
It was a clever idea, but LGD should be prepared for an invis sanking now.
Well, if they go on Rabbit, they do have a defensive sleep to possibly get him out of jail, but not going to go for it yet.
So one of the lanes you haven't looked at, top lane, Invoker is really doing well against the Lifestealer.
That was a bottom lane. They've gone in on Xiaotuji. They actually find him despite seeing it. Defensive sleep. Xiaotuji now blinking away. They juggle the sleep off of him. Nicely played by DD. That was very clever Bane play.
Yeah, DD.
Xiaotuji was a little overzealous there, though. Good thing DD was on the ball. But forced to blow a salve.
All right. And they've got the first blood. Haven't given up too much. And Rabbit's actually got decent CS. He's in 17 CS here, so... farming better than CTY. So this offensive Trallon has just flat out failed.
It's supposed to be really good at killing the enemy supports. You Burrow Strike, Bane, or Visage, and you just arrow, and that's a kill. But they didn't hit the combo once.
They've got Dust Smoke. It looks like they maybe want to gank mid with this one as they back off, smoke up.
Good.
Mirana can stay okay bottom, but
It's hard to kill the Nyx, but if they can pull it off, this is a
Yeah.
big kill because it also means that he's probably wasting Vendetta to try and get away, or he's just dead and he's not ganky with Vendetta. Either way, that's a big win.
Yep.
They can't really sit bottom now because the
but
Vendetta
they're
gank is
ganking
too
top
threatening.
backs, maybe. Yeah, I think ganking Invoker is actually better than the Nyx.
Hmm.
Because it creates space for ZSMJ to farm. Not to mention, I think killing Invoker is a bit better than killing the Nyx here. Sure, Nyx is going to be the more tempo controller ganking hero, but Invoker is the more farm level dependent one.
Well, I don't know if we'll see this one coming. They still show them around the bottom. The supports have been missing for some time, and Lin could be caught here. Maraka-sama, Burrow Strike. Oh!
Level 1 Burrow Strike, is that?
Yeah, that's level 1. But he also went for it quite a bit early.
Yeah, I think he should have waited till he saw the Invoker before making a move. ZSMJ could have maybe led with a Open Wounds. The problem is with Tornado there.
Also,
that's
it's a
really hard gank.
phase boots Quaswex Invoker.
Yeah, that's a really hard gank to succeed
I think the
in.
Nyx is way more killable, to be honest.
Invoker was killable when the wave was pushed up really high for a long time. It just so happened when they arrived at top lane, the wave was pulled back. So it was kind of just unfortunate timing, although that's partly, like, Lifestealer didn't keep the wave pulled back, I guess.
Yeah, it's just that it's hard to predict where the lane's going to be when you're ganking all the way from here up to the top lane.
This is really bad for HGT, though. Anti-Mage is going to free farm now, because they've decided, look, our offensive challenge failed. Let's get Sanking back to the jungle where he can catch up himself, so he can get stacks and farm. AA can try and hit level 6 at some point. They're basically...
But they're so late. Like, Sand King normally at this stage in the game could have close to 1,000 gold.
If they'd just gone for the safe lane trial lane, they'd be in a better spot right now. But at the same time, if the offensive trial lane worked, they'd be looking fine. So it's
just offensive trialing is risky. It's still true in this patch.
Yep. So Rabbit will get the free farm on a hero he's not well known for, the Anti-Mage, but should work just fine. And now Bane and Visage have rotated mid, maybe going to look for a kill with Yao's Vendetta.
Well, the creep wave is pushing into the tower, and this makes it a little bit difficult to go for the gank. They're still hidden by the trees here. They won't be for too much longer, though. In fact, DD will show his head. He looks for the sleep, but CTY too quick on the leap out.
Tricky.
So they're just abandoning the off lane. Absolute free farm now for an anti-mage who got first blood as well, I believe.
Yeah. HGT's lanes have just fallen apart. When you got to put your off lane to mid, you send your mid laner to the jungle, you send your supports from the off lane to top. Everything about HGT's lanes just crumbled.
Did he actually get first blood? Or was it the support?
The Visage got first blood,
Visage. Nonetheless, he got the free farm lane, I guess.
That's just, like, supports getting the kills probably almost better in some ways. Maybe not so much when your anti-mage is getting pressured, but, like, that's Visage fast arcane boots, or relatively fast. He actually picks up, like, a magic wand or something. Yeah.
The smartest laning decision this game was definitely just switching Invoker and Nyx, even with Nyx going boots first.
Yeah.
That saved them. If they had the Lifestealer versus Nyx, he doesn't win that lane, and then the mid lane, you're looking at Darkseer versus Invoker. Both heroes will farm, but Darkseer will he'll do fine there anyway.
And that's where LGD, they won the tri-lane versus tri-lane, but if they lost their 2 solo matchups, or even just lose the top lane to a Lifestealer, you're still trading free farm, or farm for an anti-mage for farm on Lifestealer, but they won 3 lanes, so... Oh, 1, 2, and even on the mid lane.
Yeah, I was hunting top, but HGT hiding very defensively. Not getting their stacks and pulls on, though, and Nick's one of the better tempo controllers just to punish a Sanking jungle. He Sandstorm creeps, you run in, Carapace the Sandstorm, Vendetta right-click him, impale him, and that's so dead Sand-King.
Yeah.
So.
He's got his arcane boots now, and that's pretty key for him. Nyx is one of those heroes who struggles when it comes to mana pool.
Yeah, definitely does. A little bit less so mid, but still in general needs a lot of mana.
Yep.
Well, this is not looking good for HGT. They're only down 1,500 gold and 500 experience, but it's more just the heroes that are poor are heroes that need to have a good start to have an impact.
Yes.
The Sand-King is desperately poor. The Ancient Apparition is getting his levels at an okay clip, and the heroes they're trading farm with. Lifestealer trading farm with an Anti-Mage and already behind by 1,200 gold. That's not good.
I still think HGT have a much better mid game, even though they're behind early. Like when Sand-King gets his levels, even without Blink Dagger, like Lifestealer, Sand-King, Mirana, like Darkseer with a mech, these are the kind of heroes which have a scary mid game fight. When Anti-Mage can't do anything, like Anti-Mage is not going to offer a lot to this team for some time. Invoker's going to be the key hero to control those kind of team fights. His Tornado EMP is going to be there for those defensive plays.
Yeah, he does Tornado the Centaur, looks to pull it around the corner. However,
no tornadoes.
We'll get caught by an open wounds potentially. Does he have a Ghost Walk ready? He does. There's no detection. So if he really gets into trouble, Ken just look to pop it. And
should be fine.
Should be absolutely fine.
Bottom, they killed Darkseer, so.
Mana Void with a Soul Assumption.
Yeah, it looks. Soul Assumption, yeah, I think it was used. It's not on cooldown,
he's
but
pretty
it's
low on
4-second cooldown.
Oh, nice kill overall. That's the mech carrier who bought his buckler, but did not have the mech recipe yet. So pretty important death.
Sorry, Dark.
The other thing is they might have Sand King Blink, but they do have Surge. So Surge and the Burrow Strike still quite strong.
No, I think HGT are going to be looking for that like around 15-minute team fight timing, where they're just going to look to take as many fights as possible with the Mirana having Max Starstorm, with the Sand King having the Surges. Ideally, you want Sand King like level 5 by then, so we can have a level 3 Burrow Strike, but they'll take what they can get.
They should be
level
stacking
6
for
as
the
well.
Sand King, though. He is just not. There's nothing for him to catch up with. He's got to get kills.
Yeah.
And he's been spotted out by a ward. This is not going to help his cause.
Yeah, what's the plan? Daytime as well. Like, even if there's no ward here, you walk in, you get
They're going to
spotted so early.
see you like right from there.
He'll get back in time to stack the pool, so I think it was maybe like a fake warding expedition, like he pretended to go up and ward to
But they can
bait
just see you don't have a
sentries.
ward.
Yeah, I don't know.
The other issue for the Sand King is only level 1 Sandstorm.
Yeah.
So not very efficient for the jungling.
He'll go.
Duration is 20 seconds, I believe.
You just flat out can't jungle with level 1 Sandstorm, apart from some of the small. Like he could kill the small hill trolls, but not the big one.
Yeah, he'll have to go topping at his level 2. But meanwhile, they've got a grip, and they go in top lane. The Cold Snap's there. They get off the Fiend's grip. The Vendetta Strike goes through the Rage as well. All that physical damage Impale. Only clipping S, though, and now ZSMJ makes his retreat. Nice Mirana ultimate. 2 hero stun.
They're all out of mana, though, so...
But they dodged the gank. That was a grip down. Vendetta used up as well.
Okay.
Pretty good defense by HGT.
Yeah. It's defense, but it's like they don't get the kills, but they force Lifesteal to go back home. AA's going back home as well, and he needs to be staying in lane to get level 6. So I think it's still a small victory for LGD, even though they don't get any kills. Like,
given the state of the game, I think
it's space for Anti-Mage. Like, you force HGT to keep 2 or 3 heroes top to protect the Lifestealer. It means Anti-Mage is farming with no one contesting him.
The issue with not having Blink on Sand King is, can they shut down the AM? They don't have that much initiation outside of Blink.
I think they're just going to rely on their like mid-game team fight to just kill everyone else on the LGD side, maybe.
But AM can just split push. Yeah. I'm a bit worried for them.
I see what CTY is getting. He's got a lot of gold here. I don't think this is a good Midas game. I think he wants to go like a fast phase drums so that he can fight with his team, but he may be thinking like we need to catch up and get a Midas.
Well, Lifesteal hasn't gone Midas either, though, so if they just randomly go for Mirana Midas, that's not going to be enough to outcarry an Anti-Mage.
Yeah.
I think, like you said, they just should go for mid-game.
It looks like it will be Midas, so he's saving up a lot of money. So
bottom lane, they've gone on XTT. They cancel out the Impale. The Mana Burn's there nicely done right as he surges out. They need a bit of a body block here. Mana Void is online, but it's just not enough damage. He's out of bottle charges, though. They can blink forward. Still some mana to burn. One more right click. He wanted to body block. Doesn't quite find it. Mana Burn coin on 15. They need this Impale to connect. Or maybe another blink. The Impale's off the mark. 2 seconds for the blink. Will Xiao Tuji commit? Doesn't want to do it.
Not good for LGD. They chased far, but... I guess they don't get the kill, so
nobody dies.
Nobody dies, yeah. AM gets his farm slowed down a tiny bit because he's wasting time chasing, but yeah.
Considering they aggressive tri-lined him, he's on track for a 14, 15-minute Battle Fury. That's impressive.
That's scary. And now there's a force-up on Invoker, so getting any kills for the HGT... The HGT mid-game is just going to be countered by the defensive items that we see LGD getting.
Well, in game 1 of this best of 3 elimination at stake, things are looking actually pretty good for LGD. I mainly am worried about them not being able to shut down AM in the mid game. That's the biggest concern. And now Pretty Hall will get Fiend's Grip, even as he Burrow strikes out. Yeah. His corpse hits the deck.
All right. Worth using the Fiend's Grip there. And that's the level 7 Bane. Like, looking at these support hero levels. Oh my gosh, 4 and 5 on the dire side, level 7 on both Radiant supports.
They have not done a good job of securing the farm. They are stacking up this camp now a bit, but most Sand King had a double stack here, if he even did. Yeah. I did not see him stack except that one time.
Killed that with a double stack and then went top, and that's where he died.
He's just atrociously poor.
Yeah.
Tornado barely missing on ZSMJ. I don't know, gods. I'm not feeling the comeback right now for HGT. I hate to be the pessimist, but
LGD lane is really smart.
Who's the engine for the comeback? To me, it's Sand King, but I don't see him doing it with this farm.
Yeah, Midas Mirana is definitely not going to be the comeback mechanic. Meanwhile, bottom lane, XTT.
Is asleep. XTT. Oh, the Carapace. Was that a Carapace stun?
Yeah.
Oh, just randomly got stuck. Oh, he must have walked into the Iron Shell creep. Now XTT will find an Invisor in bottom and pops it immediately.
Oh, they got sentry for this.
They're ready for this one. Impale comes out. Mana Burn's there as well.
Too soon, Rabbit.
But Rabbit. Oh, it's okay.
He took this. What woke him up? One
of the other heroes woke him up.
Well, they didn't get slept. Was it maybe Iron Shell damage? I don't.
Maybe
something woke him up.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Weird.
That was also weird because I saw him get Carapace, but I didn't see a Nyx. I'm like, what's going on? I think he walked by an Iron Shell creep and popped the Carapace.
I figured it was a teammate waking him up, and I'm like, wait a second, they didn't get slept. But hey, they get the kill. That's all that matters there. 4-0 unanswered kills from LGD as they're in a fantastic position. 15 minutes in.
Level 4 Sand King. There's no stack here.
And Battle Fury's up
Does this
for
sentry
Rabbit.
block the camp? I think it might. It looked like it was going to stack. There were 2 creeps over here.
Well, pretty high. He's on the slow road to Blink Dagger right now.
Oh my god. What a disaster for HGT.
Yeah, this is why not to tri lane when you're not confident.
You go back to the bans, they banned out the puck, and imagine having a puck with even just level 8. Like, they could actually threaten for some kills, but there's no one who can do it right now for HGT. They were expecting to win their lanes and just blindsided by LGD's play in the bottom lane and their switch up of the Invoker Nyx.
Smart little smoke getting towards the top lane now, and ZSMJ, I think he's quite aware of something going on. There's a lot of heroes missing right now.
Let the farm begin.
What actually kills Rabbit? Like, there's no Blink
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, what? They can't really kill this guy.
Sanking Burrow Strike into a long arrow is probably your best bet.
Oh, yeah. They're completely airballs the Impale. Then they go in anyway, but he does have the makings of an armlet. He's got 10 stick charges as well. He's quite tanky. They mech him up. The Tornado still connecting. DSMJ alive. The
oh, no!
Pretty oh, come on, my man. You got to hit that one arrow. Dodged as well. It does hit DDC in the end. Walks right back into it, just barely getting caught. The 2 hero Impale. They need to surge in the Sand King here. Continue the pursuit. He manages to connect on that Burrow Strike. DDC, down he goes. Oh, the whiffs. Now the familiar stunts. 1-2 on CTY.
Worst Burrow Strike I think I've ever seen. I mean, part of it was like the vacuum made him miss it, but the vacuum also set up a 4 hero Burrow Strike.
That teamwork is very lacking right now.
Oh gosh, that could have been, it could have been amazing.
And while HGT is busy bungling the team fight, AM busy free farming.
Yeah, he's got his Quelling Blade, Treads, Battle Fury. He can farm whatever he wants right now. He can find a DD rune, so may even farm some Ancients with this.
Armlet. It's not a bad item on Lifesteal, it's just, it's so little when you look at the items being picked up by LGD.
No, I think it's the right item. It's good for the burst damage if you can, when they try gank Anti-Mage with like a
Morano
Blink Burrow
Midas,
Strike.
though. They want to compete with this free farm AM.
I think T.Y.'s caught up on farm. Like, he's not doing too bad, but...
I mean, he's 2.5k gold behind AM, and let me tell you guys,
that gets worse.
my many long years of casting Anti-Mage Dota, this gets a lot worse.
Man, I hope Anti-Mage is back at TI4.
I love Anti-Mage.
I just don't believe in Anti-Mage in his current state too much, but it won't be TI without Anti-Mage. It won't feel like a TI.
That was my favorite game from TI3 was the Burning Anti-Mage game versus Alliance. That was the most flawless AM performance I've ever seen, and single-handedly carried his team to the... It was the first game that anyone took off of Alliance at the tournament, and the only team to do it besides Na'Vi. That was fun. Hopefully we get a Burning AM.
I'm not it's one of those things. I think it's worthwhile every now and then. It's like a 5th pick. Like, I don't think it can fit anywhere except 5th pick to catch when it fits perfectly against your opponent's draft right now.
Well, and DK now is just such a different team. I'm talking about them specifically. It's like it's not the Burning show like it was.
Yeah, maybe 4th pick worthy if you can see like exactly what your opponent's strategy is. But there's no way it's never gonna be first 2 picked at TI4, and very unlikely to be 3rd picked, or even 4th picked.
We'll see. Maybe there's a 6.82.
I wouldn't mind. 6.81B. Nerf
Anti-Mage,
Marana.
all stat growth increased by plus 1.5. There you go. I am back in the meta, man.
Yeah, we could.
Now, there could be a B, but that's normally like a bug fix.
It's more. Well, it depends. If Ice Frog decides, okay, because the thing is they haven't given enough time for 6.81 to flesh out. If they suddenly decide a few heroes are still really too good, they may look to nerf them.
Nice sleep juggle here by HGT. They'll dodge the Impale coming from Yao.
I think if there was a 6.81B, Morano would probably be one of the heroes most hit.
Radiant's middle tower has been denied.
K-pop's chattering in the background about Exhort Invoker. No, it's okay.
No love for the Exo Invoker. Exo Invoker is just so easy to gank and punish, I think. Or not so, I mean...
It's not as versatile a pick as Morano. That is, I think, the biggest difference. But still quite strong.
I think Quaswex is still the more consistent way to play it, but it's Exo Invoker, if you pull it off, is the snowball, you win the game off of it, Invoker. But if you get punished, then it's like, well, you don't offer that much to your team. So it's much more hit or miss.
There's your blink.
Hallelujah!
Well, it's very late. LGD already have a mech.
This is a trap at top lane, though.
Both teams baiting.
Well, I think LGD are the ones doing more of the baiting, maybe.
Well, HGT aren't baiting. They're baiting the creep wave. Yeah. LGD are baiting a hero. Yeah. Which is generally the way you want to do it.
Well, it's going to push out, actually. So this reveals most of the LGD heroes. Okay, so they don't take the bait.
So now they'll smoke. Oh, did this... I don't think it saw them.
They can kill Rabbit. Like, they definitely can with a Blink Burrow Strike into an arrow, but finding him and getting that combo is not going to be easy.
Yeah, they don't have the Mirana here. They're not killing him without an arrow.
They also don't want to be running high ground wall smoke, because that's where you get revealed without actually seeing the hero you're going to be ganking.
Rabbit just playing it safe, hiding the Ancients, and they'll wrap towards bottom instead, securing a tier 1 in the process, but looks like LGD will trade for the tier 1 in their own right. Yao looking for the Sand King, but he is already ready to rock and roll with the Blink Dagger online.
So LGD don't want to stop CTY bottom. I think they're too afraid of what's waiting behind him, and they're going to get at least one tier 1, possibly 2 tier 1s.
Can't tower trade with this draft, though. You're not out pushing the AM plus Visage.
Once AM gets Manta, not just Manta, he's level 14. Anti-Mage really benefits a lot from levels as far as getting tankier and just a whole lot scarier.
Yeah, and it looks like he has a handful of points here in stats, but still below 1,000 HP. Still somewhat killable. As soon as he gets the Strength Treads and the Manta, though, it's not so easy.
Yeah.
That's where you really want to have a Basher and Abyssal Blade on the Lifestealer. Ideally, just a little more damage on CTY, but
His Lifesteal's still infested. Like, that's how much HGT
they
realized
wasted
they
a
need.
lot of time on this. This is like 3-4 minutes already.
Yeah, they've just decided, like, our only hope to get back in this game is team fight / ganks, and, like...
But LGD can just spread the map to the point where even if you kill the Anti-Mage or 2 or 3 of the other heroes, the ones that you don't gank, just split push.
He
and
popped back out, and Infest is already up, so he was infested for over 100 seconds.
Yeah, that is expensive.
A good 2 minutes infested in Sanking.
There's a good stat that we should be able to get with our special tools is total time spent infested each game.
Well, I guess you have to, like, apply to, like, every hero, but... Yeah.
Well, no, just the amount of time lifesteal
Oh, yeah,
in infest
okay, not the
mode.
target. Yeah, that's actually kind of cool. Jot it down.
Compare it to the total kills. Well, whenever our Volvo please stats get fixed, we'll start with the team fight recaps, get those back in working order, and then move on to the new fun stuff.
Yep. Well, XCT picked up a blink as well, so now we have the blink vacuum wall. He hasn't got the second point in wall, but he has got the max vacuum. And top lane is possibly a team fighter brewing.
Wall is pretty decent this game, mainly because the AM, and he's gone Vlad, so...
Yeah. AM will not be really coming to fights, I feel. Until he gets, like, if he wants to come to fights, he'll maybe get a BKB after the Manta, but I think he's just going to be constant split push, because who actually kills him and stops his split push?
Tornado just fishing top lane. Yeah, nobody does. First of all, they have to find him. Then secondly, they've got to kill him. And to kill him, they need 3 or 4.
Fire Strike into 5-second arrow is going to be just enough, but that's still a struggle.
Watch out, 2G's already on the move.
That's the thing. Like, you spot a rabbit, you try and go gank him. He's got this 6-second cooldown blink. So for 1 second he's there, the next he's not.
Blink is good, and LGD are looking good. Now up by 7,500 gold. The Anti-Mage now doubling up the Lifestealer, the Darkseer, and not too far off of doubling up Mirana. Plus, decent chunk of her gold is into that Hand of Midas.
I'd love to see Anti-Mage blink cooldown reduced to 4 seconds at level 4. Get that 1 less second on blink on Anti-Mage. That would be a cool change. Like, super spammable blink. How annoying would that be for pub games?
Oh my god.
It'd be like the new pub Slark. I mean, Slark receiving some pretty big nerfs, though, in the last patch or two, a couple patches ago, but... I don't know.
Shout 2G, not doing the value blink into the camp here.
I should not balance
this guy has not been playing his Anti-Mage games recently. Inefficient jungle rounds.
No burning or silo, but he's definitely...
well, to be fair, how many Anti-Mage games has he played in the past 3 months? I'm guessing like 5 at most, or something, including pubs. It's just the hero's not been seeing much play lately.
He knows the items, he knows the playstyle, he's executing that part flawlessly, just the tiny little efficiency things maybe not there.
Yes. Here they go bottom. They're going to need to lead just with an Impale, I think. If they go for the Vendetta, this is a low percentage gank. But they don't even need it. The right clicks come out, the Mana Void strong, and
oh gosh,
they're too late to counter-initiate.
XCT trapped himself with that blink vacuum.
And this is some serious hashtag space created. 4 heroes forced out bottom, and LGD are farming the entire map.
Gets the low ground arcane boots from Yao.
There you go.
That's efficiency what we're used to seeing from LGD.
Nicely done.
This HGT just getting nothing. They've got 1 kill. Like, you look at Lifestealer and the time he spent infested, and they've got 1 kill on the board. Didn't even involve the Lifestealer. Is it?
Well, we've missed our Anti-Mage. 5-1 your score.
I'm happy with this game. I gotta say, I'm
sure if Lumi's watching, he's probably cheering as well. Whew. Eternal Envy, very happy.
This is Dota 2 at its purest right here.
This is your classic Dota.
Hashtag real Dota right here.
None of this like Mike's Hard Lemonade nonsense. Just a good old-fashioned brew. K-pop's giving me the affirmation right now.
When someone from Alabama is giving you the you know you've done something right.
You've done something classic and awesome.
Yeah.
Like pick Anti-Mage, win Dotas.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I'm still waiting for like the ultimate Mana Void draft. Just some sort of like, you know, vacuum into Invoker EMP Tornado, couple Necro books mixed in. What other mana burns are there?
Nyx is one.
Nyx as well.
Yeah.
That would be
His
fun.
mana burn's pretty powerful. As far as AoE mana
Even
burns,
OD potentially with the ult.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just get the team mana burn and then.
I don't know about OD Anti-Mage in the same draft though. Like that's
No, I'm just saying
unless
for the
you're-
gimmick.
yeah. Like maybe if OD's like a more utility like 4-star mech carry, it could
No,
work.
OD AM.
Dude,
draft
support
is-
OD. That ulti just for the mana burn. That
Tink-
could happen.
Tinker OD. Who else goes really well with OD? Storm is okay.
I wonder if you could run OD as a support. He has like the free mana for everyone aura, so
Yeah, it's the only thing that really. I guess the Astral's okay, but it's so mana intensive. His
OD bristleback off lane.
just
Like,
skip
a
the
lane.
orb. OD bristleback off lane.
That's a legit lane right there.
Or just get Crystal Maiden and have someone who can actually do something.
Ah, you can use so many quills with the OD compared to CM where it's like a tiny bit of mana here and there.
Tiny bit. Yeah. More so for the CM than
Yeah.
for her teammates, with the double regen factor.
Well, LGD just getting farmed so efficiently. Mirana's gone back for a Lincoln's after the Midas, saying not the worst idea, not really an idea that's going to do too much, but I don't know where else you go if you're CTY.
BKB, I like this choice. HGT have
Yeah.
nothing on BKB whatsoever. And show's over, folks.
It is.
Get ready for the Space Jam.
This is over. LGD, the Anti-Mage cannot be beat. The
This
purest
was
hero of
over?
Dota 2.
Honestly, it was yeah, he's broken. I think it was actually over once they lost the tri-lane.
Yeah.
That was pretty much it.
And here we go. Mirana CTY has his Lincolns up. They do need to block that. The Impale.
Nice
Oh.
3-hero Burrow Strike. Maybe Pretty Haw's gonna have a thing or two to say about this H-Emperor ult. Connects on two. They're forced to retreat out. They still got a Rage on ZSMJ. He could go for How, but he backs off. No, didn't
Okay.
have the vision.
The Impale missed the Mirana. If that Impale would go, doesn't matter about the Lincolns, and just Impale plus right clicks. I think Mirana dies there. So, yeah, okay. They kill a Bane. It's a small win for HGT.
Oh, that's right. They changed that in the latest patch with
Yeah.
the Impale Lincoln's
Yes.
interaction.
And if the Impale hits, it gives Bane time to use like an Enfeeble, or doesn't have Enfeeble, just like a Nightmare into a Grip or a Nightmare into Brain Sap for the extra damage. And
It's all over, Red Rover. Still, though, AM doesn't die. He's still free farming.
Yeah,
Nice
that's-
defense.
they
They need an epicenter. Like, ideally, it's a vacuum into a burrow strike, into an epicenter. Maybe an arrow comes through, and the lifestealer pops out. That was still a nice burrow, but
it's a level
there wasn't
1
a ton
epicenter
of
too. Like,
fuck.
it's-
That's
This
true.
is where the level, and even Darkseid, level 1 wall still. He's been level 11 for the longest time. It was like
Lifestealer's level 12 as well. He's horribly underleveled. No
AM
Midas. and
level 19.
Good news is this is the secret strat from HGT. Let AM get overleveled, and then he'll be dead forever.
Yeah, when you kill him, it's just gonna be fantastic. So, all right. Quaswex Invoker is the perfect. This is the TI2 strat. You Quaswex Invoker plus hard carry, which was generally Morphling, Anti-Mage, or Lone Druid. And Quaswex Invoker
Maybe
basically.
Lycan as well was
Yeah.
seeing a lot of play then. When he was
well,
usually
he was
banned.
the auto ban carry until we got to like some of the.
Then an arrow and rabbit bottom. This could be it. They've got to throw everything at him. Burrow strike. They need an epicenter as well, and
BKB?
HF ult.
Blink? Yeah, BKB blink and he's fine.
Epicenter into the stun there. What was that? That was a
VSM
long range
is
arrow.
waiting. No. Okay.
They should have epied immediately into the stun. That was a big misplay because they had like
Yeah.
a 3-4 second arrow there. That was enough time.
Would have been a lot closer.
They needed the damage. Like, they're not getting that kill without it.
Yeah.
Either
I
he
agree.
BKBs and blinks out, or you kill him. Like,
Yep.
without the epi, there's just no way.
Good guy Yao giving him the bottle regen too, so Rabbit's actually still pretty healthy now.
They needed that so bad. Like that was a. I don't know if it would have turned the game, but that's like a huge bone to be given, and just not there for HGT. Hyper Glory team lacking the glory.
It feels that way. They're lacking something right now. They just don't have that flair of pizzazz which saw them take the WVW Grand Finals against Vici Gaming. Right now, it's just
That was
they
2-1.
won. They won it 2-1, but that was playing like much more aggressive. With that said, they tried to go aggressive. When you try to go aggressive and it fails and you get forced to play passively, you end up in this disastrous place, which is where HGT are in now.
Oh, don't worry, K-pop. There will be some fountain farming before it's all said and done.
Oh no, I don't.
The Space Jam is coming. Well, HGT have hung in for a long time. I don't know. How close do you think they are to GG now, Gods?
A couple bad fights. I think 2 bad fights.
That's time for Shatuji to rack up the dunks.
I don't think we see more than...
What was... Did he just try to burrow strike the familiars?
I'm not sure. I don't think we see more than 12 kills this game.
What was that?
Maybe we'll get one big team fight. If we get a big team fight, we could see like HGT get like 4 or 5 man wipe, but depends when HGT GG out.
What a weird game.
I mean, this is an anti-mage game. This is a standard anti-mage game.
No, not the anti-mage.
Oh.
It's everything else around.
Oh, okay.
They do have an epicenter here, still level 1 like you mentioned, and not offering them a ton. They'll go in now with the blink vacuum. It's a beautiful vacuum. The epicenter's there as well. It's only level 1. Is it enough damage? The wall gets dropped. They've killed off 2, but they have not
Aim's
addressed
full
the
HP.
anti-mage. He's a full
There's your
HP.
slap.
He's going hard. His own illusion could be his own downfall, though.
Nice.
They'll actually lose 2 in the end.
That big AoE on the Mana Void got him a double kill on Sanking Darkseer. He threw it on the Darkseer. Sanking was sitting right by the Darkseer, and they both just got blown up.
That was the combo, too.
That's the perfect HGT team fight, and they trade 2 for 2.
And he's got 4.2k gold.
Yeah, Anti-Mage's level 20. Like, what a HGT gets some farming levels on Mirana, on Lifestealer, I guess. Like, ZSMJ's gone Heaven's Hell, but he's basically, like, admitted defeat at this point.
This is a loser talk item.
He's throwing the white flag, but his team are like, nope, we're going to bring you to battle whether you like it or not.
CSMJ, no. Shatuji just gonna take his creeps. I think they also... Whose gem was that in the last fight? It got picked up by the AM. It was a Radiant gem. I was gonna say they lost their gem as well, but it was a Radiant
Got
gem.
it back.
The small little things here for HGT.
They'll take the little things. I think. When you're against an Anti-Mage, you've got to take all the little things you can get.
I'm happy. We saw a double dunk.
Yeah. Well,
This is not an Axe Rampage level dunk though. AM needs to work. Needs to do his jumping
don't worry.
exercises.
The EMP Mana Void
Work on that
Rampage
vertical.
is coming for you.
That is a really nice combo, actually.
I think it's one of the like I say, when Anti-Mage is like a situational 4th, 5th pick, I think it's going to be often picked with an Invoker for the EMP. Just because it really gives you... Like, Mana Break is nice and all, but you have to right-click so many times before you can Mana Void. If you can go into a fight with a Mana Void to get heroes low to start things off, it's so much... Anti-Mage suddenly becomes so much more viable, I think.
Shout usually casually strutting around through the dire jungle, through the shop, and now looking for a jump on mid. He's got his BKB online. The Manta Style's there as well. There was an arrow that connected on the Invoker, preventing the rest of the team from arriving to this fight.
Oh! Blinked into
the
the
impale.
impale!
Nicely done by Yao. He catches out too. Now he's got the ult ready. Are we gonna see some dunks? Are we gonna see some
XGT's
slams?
done.
Give him the dunk. No dunk.
Oh, get away from that tornado. He walks into it, Mirana.
No follow up.
Ooh.
However,
2 for nothing.
CSMJ, maybe not so lucky. The familiar stuns are here. Read them and weep, CSMJ.
Yikes. Well, Roshan should be the next objective, I think, here.
No,
Pushing high-
Rex this. Dead for 30 seconds.
Yeah, I guess they can at least try force buybacks. Lifestealer has
They
one.
actually do have all the buybacks.
Yeah.
But
Double
there's
buyback.
your butterfly.
You may as well force him out. And, rapid. Oh, I love these high ground blinks from Anti-Mages, because it's like, what's going to actually kill him? You Burrow Strike him, he takes like 500 damage at most.
Even if there's a 5-second arrow, maybe he drops to 2/3 health.
Bane just nightmares him, and that's like your defensive, like, I mean, that'll save his life if he needs it, but he's not going to need it.
Oh boy.
They're not buying
This is
back.
before the butterfly rises. The Rex just falling so quickly. No buybacks. They'll respawn in the Darkseer. They're going to give up a lane of Rex here just to reserve buybacks, but this should mean the Roche as well for LGD. And with the butterfly coming in, Shao-Tuji can't make mincemeat of these buildings. He'll bring down one. He's looking for the other. Blink. Back's there. The Burrow's there as well. Epicenter coming through, but a nice counter initiation by Yao. That's going to catch out many. And Rabbit's going hard in the paint now. He could blink forward. He could drop. No, he's already used the Mana Void. Doesn't kill CTY. Needed one more right click to do it. Manta's immediately BKBs and CSMJ. Eve with the halberd. No match for AM God. Slices him to bits. So much for this being the lowest kill game on record. Forget about that.
Well,
Not when you've got MJ in the house.
Anti-Mage Dota.
Well, Michael Jordan retired quite a few times, but kept on coming back and doing work. And Anti-Mage, the Michael Jordan of Dota, I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
He's got quite a few
believe you.
championships under his belt.
He looks like a championship belt holder. Not so much an NBA, more like a
A wrestling
kind of
boxing
champion
kind
here
of.
with the... Could be holding some title belts, but yeah, Anti-Mage, I have missed you, and that was fun. I'm glad we got an Anti-Mage game
I
here.
think we're the only ones. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the Twitch chat for the last few minutes here of Snoreface and
Don't worry,
Sleepface.
I'll be sure to make some remarks about them off camera
Resident
when we're
Sleeper.
done.
Yeah, here we go. So, well, game 1 now in the book. But, guys, it is a best of 3. So, LGD, they take the first game, but
Yeah.
can they take the series? That will be the question. A loss here from HGT. If they lose one more game in the potentially next 2, they go home. They're out of the summit.
Yeah, that...
We'll
I mean,
see
no
what
one's happy,
happens.
but yeah, I think HGT have what it takes. They've beaten LGD in the past.
They looked really bad in this game, but I think it mostly just came down to the laning and the fact that the lanes went so poorly. They went aggressive, it didn't work, and LGD made a nice adjustment, swapping the Nyx and Invoker.
I imagine, like, I think they had a good draft this game, and I think they could have won this game if they had the better execution, but it's just they're out of their comfort draft, so I think game 2 is where they look to go for a more standard XCT offlane hero, put ZSMG on a typical carry. I mean, it could be the lifesteal, doesn't have to be like a hard carry, and then give CTY your puck-type tempo controller mid. So I think they just have to go for a standard safe lane, tri lane, XCT offlane, and CTY mid, and play a standard game, and that's where I think they can do well against LGD.
Yeah, I can get behind that. Guys, you're watching the Summit powered by Twitch. The Asia region continues in just a few moments. We've just clipped a $100,000 prize pool. Thanks to the community for your generous support. If you haven't already done so, there's a bundle in the store. It comes with an awesome accent load screen, and we will be announcing stretch goals probably in like the next day or two, I want to say.
Yeah.
And they should be a lot of fun, so we'll have the LAN finals here at the studio in Los Angeles. Get excited for that. Should have a Home Story Cup-esque feel if you're a StarCraft 2 fan. But with that being said, Game 2 coming up next. Stay with us.